Hello, what is going on, guys? Hacky Guy 1 here. Welcome to my review of Toy Story 3. So, Toy Story 3 is directed by Lee Unkrich, and I'm not really gonna bother saying the cast because it's really huge and there are a whole lot of actors and actresses. So the story is about how the toys want to going to Sunnyside daycare where they find out it's kind of a hell because of Lotso. And they have to figure out a way to escape from there and get back to Andy before he goes to college. So the story is done very well. Like, the way the story is written makes you know how much the toys care about Andy, and it's a very good story to use. Making it be a story about Andy going to college is very original, and it's very different for an animated film to do, because it's just done so perfectly with how it is, because this main storyline, and it's just so different from the first two, that it feels perfect for the film. The plot structure is really great. Like, the first act shows a montage and then kind of cuts in 10 years, and now they're not really being played with as much. And the second act is where they go in the Sunnyside and they need to figure out escaping and showing all the places Sunnyside. And then the third act it's like the whole escape plan thing, and where they get into a garbage disposal and gets back to Andy. And I think that's a perfect plot structure with how it's done, as each act is really well done and very much connects to each other, and it just isn't really all over the place and just fits together perfectly, and it's very well done. The ending is really great. It's a very emotional scene, and it's a perfect send-off for Andy as the toys separate from him ending the story with Andy, and I think that's really great how it's done, and I think that's perfect ending for this film. And honestly, it would have been a trilogy fine, but you know what? I can still see how a Toy Story 4 is fine, but this would have ended a good trilogy, but they are continuing it into Toy Story 4, obviously, and like I said, I'm on for it. But anyways, back to the ending. It's just very emotional send-off and how they get passed on to a new owner, and it's just very well executed, and you can actually feel sad for them because there's character development through each of these characters. Woody is a really fantastic character in this film. I mean, his development is just done very well and is really perfect, as you can see how his character is done, because like, you can tell he's the one who's really suspicious about daycare, and his development to try to help Andy through college and do things for Andy just makes him a really good character, and his development is just perfect for how the film works, and has a really good character arc. And Buzz as well is really good character when he's on the good side, as well as when he gets manipulated evil. He's still pretty good in character, as you can see his intentions, because he was just being manipulated and got completely switched to demo mode. But anyway, and for his good side, he's more like a leader for it, because you know, Woody's separated from them, so he's more like a leader, and I think it's just pretty well done in how his character is for the most part, and is very well developed for the most part. And once Buzz turned evil, Jessie was kind of more the leader, which makes her character very good. Like, she did kind of act more like a leader in this film, and her character is pretty well developed in this. And I like how well her character was done, as she does just kind of miss Woody, and her development is just really good for how she's done in this movie, and I really like the way they did this. Slinky, Ham, and Rex all have very similar characters. They're just the comic relief side characters, and they all have really good characters, as you do see how they weren't. Because they all just kind of, like, very good character, as they all kind of develop as the trust Woody and trust Buzz and Jessie. I mean, it's pretty well developed how it works, and I like it. Mr. Potato Head is definitely the best comic relief in this because he's really funny. He drops a lot of good jokes, which is basically how his character is in this movie. I mean, he's a comic relief who likes to drop a bunch of jokes, and it's really good how it's done. And then him and Mrs. Potato Head, his relationship is a bit more developed in this. As you can see that she's really mad at Lotso when she takes off her mouth. And there's the aliens who are their kid, though they kind of claim as their kids, and that also kind of develops both of their characters pretty well. But Mr. Potato Head as the character is just the best comic relief for them because he just drops a lot of good jokes, and he also is a really good character at the same time. Lotso is one of the rare times where a twist villain actually works. Like, the way they did the twist here was just perfect for how it is. I mean, usually what they do is they just wait too long to do it and give too much easy hints that it'd be him. Well, Lotso here, I mean, he was revealed in the second act, and you did kind of see it coming, but as a twist villain, I think it worked a lot more because he's actually given a motivation, unlike most generic twist villains. It's given a motivation, as you do get his motivation because he's mad because he was replaced. He's by his old owner, and it gives him a very good intentions to want to be in top and hate other toys, and it's just perfect development for his character, and one of Pixar's best villains. The humor in this film is also really great. I mean, and they choose the perfect times to say the humor, and they balance out adult jokes and kid jokes very well, so it can actually feel like a family movie. Yeah, and it's perfect for how it is, as you can enjoy it for all audiences, and it's very perfect on how the humor is done, and as you can really enjoy this no matter what age you are. The voice acting was beyond perfect, but the ones who stand out the most to me as always, is Tom Hanks and Tim Allen. They always give their best in their roles and do great in these movies, and you can tell they really care for their roles, as they do. Seem like they care about this film, and it actually seems like they want to be there, and it's really good in how they deliver all their lines. And it just shows the right emotion at each time. It's perfect in how the voice acting was for them. The animation is just beyond amazing. I mean, they just improved a lot from 1999 to this movie, as you can tell that they did improve the designs on all the toys, as they do look a little better on it, and as well as the way Lotso looks actually makes him look like a real teddy bear. It's really good at how they did that, as well as the background designs look perfect. Like, I really like the looks on the daycare, as it does remind you a lot of an actual daycare, and I really like how they designed that. The score is just fantastic. I mean, it all fits the moments, and Randy Newman once again delivered in this franchise, as once again, and it's just perfect. Like, they played who You Got a Friend in Me again, and it's really great. Right, it's still great in this film, and still fits all the moments, as well as the score in general just fits the moments perfectly, and I really like how it does that. With that said, I do have a few negatives, like Ken and Barbie's relationship. I do feel like was a little forced, as it didn't really feel like it was developed completely, and as at times at first they kind of just first meet each other, and then they like each other, but then they hate each other, but then they like each other again. I feel like that just kind of makes it poorly developed, and I think they could have done much better with it. And Jesse and Buzz's relationship wasn't the best to me. I feel like it was pretty bad, and I mean, it wasn't that bad, but I still feel like they could have done a lot better with this, as it didn't really feel like it was that developed, as it really wasn't focused on until Buzz turned to Spanish mode, which was a pretty funny moment. But either way, it doesn't really feel like it's developed, and I feel like it should have been more developed, and it would have made it better for sure. So overall, Toy Story 3 may be the weakest Toy Story film to me, but it's still a great movie nonetheless. And I'm gonna give Toy Story 3 a 9 out of 10. So that was my review of Toy Story 3. What are your thoughts on Toy Story 3? Tell me in the comments below, and I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.